So, hello to everybody. I'm Elisabetta Mason. I'm a senior consultant in Considi and associate in Considi. And I would like to welcome to our first meeting of 4 meetings that we are doing together. The title of this adventure is Innovation and Fast Development of Products and Services in the Age of Industry 4.0.
Hi, my name is Valentina Mazzocco and I am a senior consultant here in Considi. Let's start today with the definition. The ancestor of digital visual management is visual management, a term that describes a visual approach for process management. It is a methodology that makes it possible to visualize through simple tools the progress of business processes, making them visible to the relevant actors. The fundamental objective is to make all information instantly available, in particular highlighting the possible criticalities, and thus being able to act promptly. The word digital in front of visual management indicates that the tools we are using are not the classic paper posters and post-it notes, but digital tools. As we understand it today, visual management was born in Toyota, Japan, in the factory environment, but it was soon extended to the offices. Indeed, it is even more important to visualize transactional processes, so those where information is processed rather than a product. The power of visual, being it traditional or digital, is even more prominent in the offices. It highlights processes that, by their nature, are hidden and intangible. So, let's have a look at the ingredients of the good digital visual management. The first ingredients are the process and the method. We have to define which process we want to monitor and for which purpose. The fundamental starting point of visual management, being it digital or traditional, is what we want to visualize. Be aware that this process must be optimized in order to avoid the famous digitalization of waste error. The second ingredient is the tool. We have to define how we want to display the information. In digital management, dedicated software tools are used, supported by touchscreens and whiteboards when meetings are held in person. The third ingredient is people. It is not enough to choose the process to visualize and the tool to use. Digital visual management is a methodology at the service of people who discuss, compare notes, and make decisions by meeting periodically in front of boards. Often, when someone wants to undertake the digital visual management, he or she opens Google and starts searching what the web has to offer. The result is quite confusing, with hundreds of very different tools that make the choice quite difficult. Indeed, we find ourselves in a situation that here in Considi we define as confusopoli. The set of available tools leads to very different options and offers that are not easy to compare, creating confusion, a bit like what happens with the telephone operators. This confusion was the starting point that triggered a study started in Considi 5 years ago, with the aim of providing greater clarity and making it easier to compare tools. What we recommended to companies that are looking for a digital visual management tool is to stop and take a step back. The choice of one tool rather than another one is closely linked to the need that the company or the work team is experiencing at that moment and cannot be separated from it. Among the different options on the market, there are tools designed to cover specific needs and more flexible tools with a wider scope of action. Moreover, the same tool may be very good for one purpose, but completely insufficient for another one. It is therefore essential to start by asking ourselves, what does my team or my company actually need? The choice must fall on the tool that best suits these needs. Choosing the tool first reverses this dependency, and we will find ourselves having to adapt to a tool that in the long run will not be fit for our purpose, and it will be discarded. Let's see now some of the purposes of using digital visual management. Another example is the management of business processes. Here we often use boards with a Kanban structure, so where the columns of my board represent the steps of my process, or Scrum board where the columns are the classic to do, doing, and done. Some examples of processes managed in this way are order management, especially in engineering to order companies, but also after sales management or the IT ticket management. Now I would like to go into the details of our tool selection and show you the criteria for this selection. To be as practical as possible, we will see together with Nicola's help how iObeya responds to our selection parameters. So let's move to iObeya. Nicola, can you please share your screen?
Yes, let's go. Nice being with you. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Can you put the full screen mode, please?
Yes, thanks.
Okay, thank you so much. So, the criteria we have identified in our research to compare the different digital tools are basically three. Usability, so how easy and practical the tool is to use. Functionality, so how useful the tool is for my purpose. And pricing, so how much the tool costs to my company. So let's start by digging into usability. Okay, as far as usability is concerned, we have divided it into 5 parameters. Team interaction, so how and to what extent the tool allows different users of the team connected at the same time to interact with each other. Available devices, so the possibility of accessing the tool from different devices. Compliance to standard rules, so how and to what extent the tool allows standardization of the information contained in the board in order to create a sort of a kind of legend that allows all users to read and enter information in the same way. Here we have also the easy of use, so how intuitive and easy the tool is to learn and to use without requiring a high degree of expertise. Finally, we have aesthetics, so how clear and clean the boards created with the tool appear, as opposed to having unattractive or overly sophisticated graphics. So let's see some example of these criteria, or this parameter of usability in iObeya. I give you the floor, Nick.
Thank you, Valentina. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. So first criterion, team interaction. iObeya is the fundamental building block of iObeya is what we call the virtual room. Here you have an image where you have this iObeya, which stands for virtual Obeya, where you have different boards, various boards with various content that correspond basically to what Valentina just explained in terms of purpose of use. And basically users in this room can update information in a synchronous or asynchronous way, and we'll see that later in terms of demonstration. And basically they can have access to it 24 hours a day, and there are different rights in terms of being a power user, simple user, or just a guest user can be managed. So this is a privileged space, virtual space, where team members can interact together. Whatever the, just to give you an idea, right here, right now, we are in a room. So the room is called Considi iObeya Collab, where we collaborate, and we have plenty of boards. And I'm going to show you how we actually fit the criteria that Valentina just mentioned. So what are the main use cases? I want to repeat it for long. Just a quick overview. As Valentina mentioned, we cover all forms of visual management, and let's say that we identified four main categories that are lean enterprise, with everything that actually regards and concerns project management, portfolio management, product development, from the smallest project to the largest program. You have everything about operations management, including performance management, of course, and daily capacity management, scheduling, visual dashboarding, and so on and so forth. Agile, both local and at scale, and then digital workplace, that actually means the fact that everyone can collaborate easily and fast with anyone else in the company and even outside. So let's take a look at the second criterion, available devices. We have basically all sort of configurations. So because iObeya works in an ATA-WAD manner, that means anytime, anywhere, any device. You don't need to install anything. You just need a web browser on your computer, and it works. You can work remotely, 100% remotely. You can be 100% co-located, or you can work in a hybrid mode where there is a mix between co-located and remote. And in addition to that, with the latest version, we also have an app that allows you to manage your task through your iObeya task through your smartphone. Next criterion, compliance to standard rules. This is very important when you need to deploy at a large scale. Everybody knows that lean needs a lean system needs good and adaptable standards. So we actually, through iObeya, you can create board templates as well as room templates. And right now we're going to see how you can do that. So here I created, for example, an example of a board that is in Ishikawa. And what I did is that I just basically used it as a template, and I created one. So now I'll just drag and drop. I'll put it right here in this area. Just a second. Okay, no problem. We're done. And let's jump into it. So as you can see, you can create your own boards, turn it into templates, and then reuse it as much as you want. And the same thing can be done with room templates. So right now, to show you how you can have a synchronous interaction with other people, I'd like to launch a brainstorming session about a problem that we have in On Time in Full. So we use Ishikawa notes already prepared in this template. The topic is the fact that there is a sudden drop in our On Time in Full indicator. We go. I will participate. All the results will be grouped by participants, and I'll just make it pretty short. So I will launch it. We have a first, explanation on how to run this. And basically here you will find different categories that are material, measurement, man and brain power, Mother Nature, environment, methods, and machine that correspond to our Ishikawa. So I'll enter a manpower problem for what we have. That is a clear apparent lack of training. And let's enter, and then we clearly have a methodology problem. That is the fact that we have an unstable scheduling process. that doesn't make life easy to anyone. So I'll let Valentina and Silvia, who are connected from elsewhere, from Italy, a couple seconds to end their post-its. And now I'm just ending the brainstorming session. We will go back to the board and we'll see all the results. So here, this is me with my unstable scheduling process. So I'll move it to the corresponding area of the Ishikawa. Just move those around. The other one is lack of training, that will be moved over here, that will move here to man and brain power. And I will ask Silvia and Valentina to move the post-its to the corresponding category of the Ishikawa board. Brilliant. So now you can see how you can interact. So is actually the touch and feel for Valentina with the touch board and with the touch screen, and Silvia elsewhere makes it feel like as if we were close to one another. Then there is the last scrap problem. And now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to recap this with a problem solving card that we'll call OTIF sudden drop. A card is like a smart post-it that you can assign to specific to some iObeya users with due dates and some other information that might be interesting in terms of problem solving.